Rockstar Games has published more than 70 screenshots of Grand Theft Auto 6. In this video, we are going to analyze everything in detail, so pay close attention. Some details will surprise you. Rest assured, we were just as surprised as you during our analysis. I think this video is going to raise a whole series of questions for you. Just pay close attention. This video is really interesting, as among all those images we have yet to analyze, there are incredible features you wouldn't expect to see, as well as many important places subtly hidden in the landscapes. The Central Airport, one of the possible military bases in the game. Although we will leave that more for the end of the video, we start with the protagonist, and in this image, we can see how she trains inside a gym that is very different from the classic beach gym we saw in Trailer 2, or the one we are used to in GTA 5. GTA 6 will feature a greater variety of gyms, and, as we can see, these will have a wider range of machines for training, thus returning to an exercise system that we haven't seen so developed since Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, where they even had areas dedicated to practicing boxing. Similarly, in GTA 6, we see this sport return. And although we don't actually see a boxing match, considering that she is training with a punching bag and especially Lucia's pendant, I think it's quite likely that this type of sport will return to GTA 6. Something that has also been seen in several images is the use of headphones. Whether practicing sports or relaxing by the pool, the characters will be able to use headphones to keep listening to their music when we are not in the car. Possibly, this will make the radio and music streaming system very detailed, featuring not only the conventional stations and a greater variety of them, but also a Spotify-style app to individually play each song included in the game. But we will talk about the applications a little later, as first we need to list the many striking details in this image, such as Jason accompanying us in the background on this pool day, the realism of the drink, and the great detail of the liquids, as well as the enormous realism of the towel, which allows us to appreciate every small thread of its texture. This is perfectly reflected in the character's glasses, showing the great reflection technology the game will have, not only reflecting the environment and characters in real time, but also the less important objects with clarity. On the towel, we can see Lucia's phone. That the character has left the phone out of the pool, we still can't tell if it's a realistic detail to prevent the phone from being damaged by water, or if, on the contrary, this is part of the beginning of some cinematic or mission where we already know that these kinds of details are usually more considered. I would lean more towards the second option, as I don't think they will make us change phones every time we jump into the water without taking it out of the inventory. In any case, this phone contains very interesting information, as its screen is on, and you can see some apps and how they resemble their real-life counterparts. We can recognize a very blatant parody of the WhatsApp logo, which would correspond to the WhatsApp application, which we saw in the leaks of 2022. And unless they have decided to change the name in these last 2 years, this will be the application we use to talk to the characters by message. Additionally, we can recognize the classic contacts app from any phone, and on the right, there appears to be a parody of YouTube, with that red logo featuring a white rectangle and a central icon that could be the Play logo or something related to videos. Below, on the left of the mobile, we can see a clear parody of Instagram, which could be an evolved Snapmatic, undoubtedly the best candidate to parody this social network. These social networks can also be seen in action in other images, like in this one, where we can see what seems to be a parody of TikTok. And, of course, it shows the high level at which these applications will be developed, being practically real applications within the game, where there will be a comments section, a menu bar to navigate through the application, and the content that the characters have just recorded. Clearly, all of this being a parody very close to that legal line that separates parody from plagiarism. Just like with the vehicles, the level of parody of the vehicles in GTA 6 will be much closer to our world than ever, being able to see that new Obey that increasingly has more of an Audi soul. Looking in the background, I just want to mention those strange lights that can be seen on one of the balconies of the building in the back. They caught my attention, as this could be part of Christmas decorations that organically appear and disappear from the windows of houses at Christmas. Or it could also be personalized decorations that we find in some random windows to make the buildings more personalized and varied. This image is taken in the parking lot of the Jack of Heart, which we already know from the 2022 leaks as the official shoe store of the game, But it won't be the only one. We will be able to find more modest shoe stores in other towns. These will be less opulent, but they will also offer more open services. On this sign, we can read that one of the nights will be dedicated to male dancers. Let's call it that to survive algorithm censorship. Considering that one of the main characters is a woman, it was clear that there would be some way to access this type of show, which until now had only been seen in one form in the series. And in this venue at least, they will dedicate one night to a show with boys instead of girls. Of course, you must send this video right now to that friend you know or suspect will be going there just that night. On another note, this unisex shoe store is located in Port Gellhorn, an area where magical substances have ruined its population, finding poor people on the street, pushing a cart with everything they have left in life. And of course, illegal dealings in the back parts of the venues of vice and perversion. The trafficking and manufacturing, where magical substances will be protagonists in Port Gellhorn, and that will make an important part of the plot unfold right on the other side of the map. It seems that the mechanics of crafting, production, and sale of these types of products will be on another level. Not to mention that they have an advantage, as a significant part of the plot of GTA Online has developed under this theme and with these mechanics. Although it remains to be seen how developed this can be in free mode, and if they allow creating or managing some type of business of these characteristics. These magical substances will not only ruin Port Gellhorn, but also some neighbourhoods of Vice City dominated by gangs. We can find some rather affected people lying on the street, even accompanied by their pets. With this shot, we can once again appreciate the extravagant customization of vehicles that we first saw arrive in GTA Online, including some very strange types of vehicles that we had never seen before in the series. Motorcyclists can ride with or without helmets on the street and even perform some stunts in groups if they are gangs in somewhat rough neighbourhoods. On the columns of this street, we can read Pearl, just like on the chest of one of the gang members in the handshake from Trailer 1 that we already saw in the previous video. Possibly Pearl is the nickname of this guy in the neighbourhood, or even the name of one of the gangs he belongs to. Along the coasts of Vice City, the Keys, we can see an immense number of boats that will spawn as complete scenarios surrounded by bathers performing actions. These will float lying on a float accompanying the boat. They will just get on the boat and jump into the water, improvise parties, or simply sunbathe on the yacht, or chat about their things admiring the views. These complex scenarios will be very frequent to see and will give great realism to the life of the characters and the environment in the game's sea. In these scenarios, we will also see a large number of new objects related to swimming spawned in the area, such as inflatable mattresses shaped like animals, drinks, inflatable balls, bags, towels, and floaties everywhere. In addition to a wide variety of types of boats, larger, smaller, more modest, and much more luxurious. In small details, we can notice great realism in the vibrations of the water around the engines. Looking at this area, we will notice the presence of a large creature underwater. Some people initially said it was a shark, although seeing its rather rounded head, I would dare to say it is an orca. Of course, if there is any marine biologist in the comments, they can clarify this doubt for us. I would like to go back for a second to the objects on the ship, as I left one out on purpose to relate it to the next image. And it is those diving goggles that we can see on one of the ships in the background. We know that diving will once again be an activity in the game and more developed than ever. The NPCs themselves will perform it, and we can find them out there at the bottom of the sea, and not just the protagonists, as in previous games. These people will be fully equipped with their wetsuits, fins, masks, and oxygen tanks. Aside from this image is one of the most spectacular of all those that have been published, because it demonstrates the great evolution of the seabed since the previous installment. The vegetation will be unique and very varied, presenting lushness at a very high level. And the same happens with the marine fauna. Schools of fish, eels, and even sea turtles can be seen in just this image, which shows a small part of the variety of animals that will inhabit the depths of Leonida. On the surface, wildlife will also dominate much of the state. Predators will hunt other more defenseless animals and not just the player, following the legacy left by the wild world of Red Dead Redemption 2. In the same way as in our reality, humans will be in that circle of predators and prey, this time with the participation of NPC hunters who will roam the mountains looking for animals to shoot. Hunting seems to be developed at a high level, and according to this guy's shirt, we can find a store called White Golf, where we can buy hunting items, as the shirt itself indicates, tools and knives. The weapons will also be more suited to this type of activity, with bolt-action rifles more intended for hunting instead of using war snipers, which we would usually use in story mode missions. This clearly confirms the great variety of weapons that this game will have. To finish with this image, it only remains to highlight the lushness of the game's forests, how the tall grass covers everything, and the trees are everywhere. The wildlife is also very diverse, showing small animals that you might not have even noticed in the image all this time, like that squirrel clinging to the tree, or the more discreet background, the woodpecker pecking at the second tree on the right. These animals will also cross our path. In this image, we see how a kind of orange raccoon has sneaked into a motocross race. In this shot, the abandoned structure in the background catches my attention. An immense industrial plant, apparently abandoned and explorable, at least by the visible climbs, the interior corridors we can see from here, and the stairs and platforms that suggest we can explore this entire structure from top to bottom. As for the main scene, we can notice how the mud will adapt the same physical behavior as the sand in the trailer, or the snow in Red Dead Redemption 2, with a great deformation that will allow us to see a real trail where we have passed with the motorcycle. The splashes of mud can be seen flying through the air. These will stain the vehicles with great realism. Speaking of the mud, we have to mention the Mud Club, this strange group of people we met in Trailer 1, who parody a real group and basically dedicate themselves to having fun in the mud flats of the state of Leonida with their motor tracks, their mud fights, or simply setting up camps and drinking with family. These gatherings around the campfire could take advantage of the camp system and the gang we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. Allowing us to enjoy a unique moment of disconnection and songs by the fire, which is quite missed. In the vicinity, we can see a new beer brand called Drake or something like that. But the most curious thing about this image is noticing how the heat emitted by the fire distorts the image in an extremely realistic way. The fire outside the bonfire will play a very important role. In some images, they seem to show us forest fires, although I must clarify that nowhere do we actually see a fire in a wild forest or on a hill. These more natural fires can be seen mainly in plantations, which could be some mission in the style of San Andreas or Red Dead Redemption 2, or it could be random world events where we have to help put out a fire in a plantation. In any case, the fire and smoke create a spectacular landscape with this sunset. Although, if I have to choose a landscape from these images, it would be this one here. The canyons we can find in Mount Calaga are spectacular. The natural part of the world in GTA 6 will not be desert-like and boring. The roads themselves will be busy, and we might even find special transports being escorted by the police. Something very interesting in this image is what is hidden behind the mist on the horizon on the left side. Some strange rectangular structures can be distinguished, which must be enormous due to the distance. The most likely theory is that they are hangars, whether it's an airport in this northern area of the map, or even a military base, which would also fit well with this more hidden area for such military installations. A confirmed airport will be the Vice City International Airport. The city's Hollywood-style sign will be located there. Due to the position of the plane, it will be outside the airport and at the beginning of one of the runways. We will see much more about the airport in an upcoming image at the end of the video. Moving on to the plane, I would say we might be looking at a new version of the Luxor, the private jet from GTA 5, which this time we could see much more detailed with a large number of elements and sensors on its fuselage. The helicopters also show this evolution in their appearance. In this case, we have a news helicopter from the company Weisel News, which has an operator in the back broadcasting with a shoulder-mounted camera. Already in the first trailer, they told us about the great importance of the news in the game, how they will show all the events happening around the world. The presence of this helicopter could create an additional enemy in chases when it is following us to broadcast our escape and, of course, reveal our position if we manage to lose the police. Although for now, it is a mystery what the involvement of the media will be in our way of playing. In this image of Ambrosia, you can see what, according to community mappers, they have considered as the Great Leonida Lake. Exactly. We would be looking at the western part of the lake, facing southwest on the map, and we can see how its waters will be swampy, like the entire southern part of the map. It's curious, since Lake Leonida is practically in the center, so we would have a swamp biome occupying the entire lower half of the map, from Grass River to the Great Lake Leonida. The information this screenshot provides about the map is amazing. Those immense buildings in the background on the left are the Vice City International Airport, which we had already seen earlier in the image of the Vice City sign, and much further away, in the image from the keys showing the control tower on the horizon. The bridge on the right would be the Port Gellhorn Bridge. To help you understand, this is the viewing angle of this image on the community map of GTA 6. The city of Ambrosia will be having elections at some point. We don't know if this is something that will happen during a specific part of the story, or if it will be a sporadic event in the cities of the game. We can read that the candidate will be Erin Henshaw, who might have a role in the story. It wouldn't be the first time Rockstar involves politics in a subplot of their games, especially with the level of parody in the GTAs. The other possible candidate we know of is named Andrew Boyd, whose name we could read on a sticker on the back of the car in Trailer 1. The biker gangs will expand, possibly appearing in groups of at least 8 members. The variety is so great that in this photo alone we can see 6 different models of motorcycles and 2 of them repeated, which, despite being the same model, their customization is so different that it doesn't even seem like the same motorcycle at all. The large mountain in the background could be Mount Calaga, one of the few mountains that will have a mostly flat map. This mountain is filled with information in its images. This specifically shows us a couple of vehicles. One of them, the train, which we will probably all try to stop in our first 24 hours of the game, and which, as we can see, will be the same model as in GTA 5, only painted differently. And the other, that Piagua that will join the large catalogue of water vehicles in this game. For some time, we have known that GTA 6 will have an extremely detailed weather system. In its day, there was talk of tornadoes, but what this image shows could be confirming floods in the game. This flow meter to know the depth of the river is probably not just a decorative element, but something that will actually have an effect when torrential rains cause the river level to rise uncontrollably. That Rockstar has designed such a system is surprising, but what worries me most is what will happen with all the vegetation on the riverbanks. Will it just stay there under the water current in a somewhat fake way? Or have they really worked on a system where the water uproots and drags this type of vegetation, stones, and other elements from the banks? Unfortunately, we have run out of time, and it's a shame because at least 15 of the best captures from the game are missing, among which we could find important clues about a mysterious extra state on the map and a part of the story that might not be as everyone thought. Very soon, you will be able to see that third and final part about the analysis of the 70 captures of GTA 6. I won't ask you to like or subscribe, but it's true that a good motivation could give me more energy to finish the video sooner than you expect. And remember, you can leave a comment with any detail you think I might have missed, because a few thousand eyes see more than 2. And together, we'll discover even the smallest detail shown in GTA 6.